Hello everyone, it's Andrew from GemTCG here, and for today's video I will be listing a bunch of cards and then also answering questions from the patrons. And there's a lot of helpful questions that they've asked that I think the answers would be pretty helpful for you all. And I'm also going to be testing out that list 1,000 cards an hour theory or claim that I make and show you guys if it's possible or not. So I'll be scanning in all of these cards, which are my leftover cards from the card show, and it's around 1,000. I'll double check when I actually start listing. It's a bunch of illustration rares and trainer galleries. If I just pull this random card, well, that's just a regular Pokeball holo, but there's a ton of cool cards that you guys will see. And I'll show you guys how I scan, how I list my cards, and just the whole process with all of that. So definitely a long form video if you guys like those. So stick around, I guess. Do it or watch it when you're sorting your cards or just doing some orders. I'm not going to be editing or clipping anything because I want you guys to actually see how it works in real time without edits, because that can be misleading. I could edit a video and make it look like this software is perfect and make it look like I do things super fast, but in reality there's not always issues, but there are sometimes issues that are that's just how it is. Is it still faster than listing it on eBay directly? Yes, but I want to just show you guys how it is. So let me start off with the first question before I actually get into this. Notes here. So questions for the video. So the first question is, how do you determine bulk that's not worth it? Honestly, what I do when I get bulk is the first thing I look through are the more expensive cards. So let's say there were holos and reverse holos and commons. I would first look through the holos to see if there's any good value in those cards. If there's not, I will automatically assume there's just not value in those cards, and I wouldn't look through the commons and uncommons. Because if they took out the holo rares and the reverse holo rares that had value, they would most likely have taken out the non-holo cards. So I don't really waste time when that happens, and it saves me a ton of time because I don't have to look through 10,000 cards. Now I put these cards in the scanner up here, and it just goes in and scans them like that. It doesn't damage them. I know it looks like it would, but it's actually pretty good. And I've sold hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of thousands. I've sold up to 100,000 cards on eBay, and I never had a complaint about them being damaged or scratched or anything. So you definitely don't have to worry about that as much. Maybe if you have an older scanner, or I guess if it's dirty, it can cause issues and scratch the cards. But if you keep it clean and well maintained, you won't get an issue with the cards being damaged. And I got the Rico or Ryko, I don't know how to say it, F180 or FI8170, and it's a more expensive one, but I have noticed that my thing, look, it's not feeding consistently, and it also jams too, which is pretty annoying considering how much it costs. So I'm definitely going to see if I could return this one or maybe get a refund or something. Or if I could fix it, that would be ideal. But it's just, like, I don't get how a scanner of this price jams. So the thing that I have set up here is just the ETB, and then I have some top loaders in the back. So it catches all the cards, and that way I don't have to manually hold it down. So right now it's like it's stopped. It just stopped scanning, which doesn't make sense because there's still cards in there. And I've heard that putting them in at an angle can help, but I just don't get why it stopped. I might fast forward this part just because it's hard to focus while scanning the cards, since it's a pretty important process and fast moving. And there's a bunch of issues going on right now, which sucks. Actually, let me know if you guys have a Rico scanner and you get issues like this, because it doesn't make sense. I had this issue with my Epson scanner, but that was half the price, and it makes more sense for that to be not as good quality compared to this one. If I hold it down this, it goes really quick. You can't see it now, but I'm kind of gently holding it down and it goes automatic. But the second I stop, it just stops feeding in. And I don't mind doing that, but it's just kind of frustrating. I had high hopes for this product, and for it to be like this is kind of disappointing. So let me fast forward. I'm just going to skip this process and then cut back to when I actually start uploading cards. Okay, so I have all of my images now, And this is going to be the first type of card that I'm going to be listing, which is Sword and Shield, just regular cards. And then I got the Scarlet Violet here, and the vintage cards like 2003 to 2011 over there. Then I got my sleeves and the dividers with all the SKUs ready. So let's get started. I'm going to be doing the first batch right now. So I'll start it at PO23. That is the template that I use, or like the SKU system that I use. And I'll be doing Sword and Shield English singles, front and back. I'm going to be using a 2x multiplier. That's something I've been doing lately, and honestly, I think it's working for me because it's just like time-wise, I think it's what I need to do. For the first batch, I'll do 300 or 156 cards, which would be, it's at 312 times 2, 156. Yes, 312. Okay. So I'm going to be doing 156 on the first batch. Oh, I'm missing one. 310. Okay, let me go back. 314, I guess. Might have deleted an image. So then, okay, so I have these. And then while it's uploading, what I like to do, because this takes some time, like it has to upload all the images and then it has to predict the cards. So then what I do now is I sleeve the cards because sleeving is extremely time consuming for me. So you guys can't see it, but I'll just be sleeving the cards and I'll also be answering a question while I do that. So the first question is, or the second question, because I already answered one earlier. How do you store unlisted inventory? Do you just stack them on a table somewhere? Yeah, that was the question. For unlisted inventory, I kind of have like a whole like table set up for it. I don't really do anything special besides just have it ready to be listed. So like what I do is I sort everything when the cards come in, and I have it organized by set or type. So like if I have a bunch of trainer gallery cards, I'll put all those together. If I have a bunch of 151 reverse hollows, I'll put all those together. So then I just have it ready to be listed. And then when I'm ready to actually start listing, I will take that stack and I will organize it alphabetically. Or lately I've just been listing like this, so I don't need to organize alphabetically. And that's about it. Like, I think it's good to have your inventory that isn't listed readily available. Otherwise, it's just going to keep piling up, and it's like you'll never get to listing it because it's really easy to fall into the rhythm of like letting things grow and pile up and not listing. And I think that's something that if you can keep yourself, like hold yourself accountable on that, you will do a lot better. And if you can keep your backlog inventory as low as possible, then you will do very well, I think, in the long run. Because if something's not listed, you can't make a sale. Like that's pretty much how it goes. And the more you could list, the more you could sell. Like that's just how it goes. Next question is, what does your schedule look like since you juggle a day job and your store? So my schedule is very routine. Like I like having routines a lot. I don't like going. I kind of like going with the flow if it's like a leisure type of thing. But like when it comes to being productive, I really like routines. And the biggest thing I do is when I wake up, I have my coffee and like work the job, and then um, after work I go to the gym for like 45 minutes. I don't really stay too long. Like I used to go to the gym and be there for like 2 hours a day, and I would go 5 days a week, which was pretty intense. And I think it's just not maintainable because like what I was following was all these bodybuilders and influencers, and this was like six years ago, and it wasn't as bad as it is now with like how many influencers there are with workouts. And a lot of the people back then were like, I don't know if this is just who I was like watching, but they were very um, big people. Like they definitely did roids and all that, and I was taking advice from those people. So my workouts were like 2 hours long, and I think it was like overkill. Like I don't even think like it got to a point where I was losing size because I was just burning so much calories from working out. But anyways, that's not even part of the question. So now I go to the gym like 45 minutes a day, and I go 3 times a week. And then after the gym, I come home, eat like a little healthy dinner or whatever. Not dinner because I have dinner afterwards, like later towards the day. And what do I do? Okay, so the batch uploaded. One sec. So when I get home, I eat dinner, and then let me just double check this really quick. I eat dinner, I shower, and then I have coffee, and then I just start working on this app, or I start listing cards, or I start making videos. There's a bunch of things that I do to just be productive. Like I try not to um, waste any time, especially during like the important times of the day. I don't like doing that because it's just I feel guilty when I waste time, and I'd rather be productive because at least like if I'm productive and I spend my whole day being productive, at least something came out of that. But if I'm not productive and I'm just like on my phone all day or not doing anything, then it just feels like a waste, and I feel guilty about that. So try to be productive as much as I can. That's why I'm able to like when you guys are shocked of how much I do in a day. That's why like I don't waste time, and I don't. One of the biggest things was getting rid of video games and what else? Video games and TV. TV is a really big one because like games always gets a bad rep. Like people say, oh, gamers just waste time all day. All they do is play video games and they don't do anything productive. But what they don't pay attention to is like the people that watch TV all day, which is just as bad in my opinion. Because at least with a game, like you're keeping your mind active, your hand-eye coordination gets good. Like there's some benefits to that. You could talk to people if you're playing with them online. But when you're watching TV, you're literally doing kind of you're like rotting pretty much is how I look at it. So I try not to waste or like try not to watch TV and as much as I used to. Like I used to really like watching movies and stuff, but I feel like I've watched every good movie, which is a pretty bold take. But I've seen like tons of old movies, new movies, all the like popular ones, and critically acclaimed. I think is what they call it. And then yeah, that's how I stay productive during the day, and that's how my schedule is. And then once I finish with like the working on the app, and then what else? Working on the app and doing like the social media stuff in terms of like productive social media stuff, not just scrolling through TikTok and all that. Then I start doing my orders, and this part takes like on a weekend, like the whole weekend's orders on a Monday. It will take me around like 2 to 3 hours because I'm doing like a full weekend's worth of orders in one day. But um if I do all like daily orders, it takes me around 1 to 2 hours, depending on how many sales I got, how big the orders were, and just all that. So it doesn't take me too long. I think because I have these systems in place, it makes it a lot quicker. Like if I had my stuff not organized properly, then I definitely would be a lot slower. So it's very important, and that's why I emphasize a lot, like not just listing junk and doing like the TCG player thing, which I've been very against lately, to be honest. TCG Player, not a big fan of anymore. And I'll probably make a video on that soon because there's just no benefit to it besides being able to list quickly. Like that's literally the only benefit, in my opinion. And if you're spending all this time to list cards for 10 cents and then you get a sale that's like 20 cents or 20 cards at 10 cents each and then you're losing money on the shipping, it's like, it seems like a waste of time to me, to be honest. And I'm slowly but strongly moving away from TCG Player. And then, oh, I kind of forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, I don't know. It just, doing the sale, like doing the stuff on eBay, just it's a lot quicker for me too, which is what I really enjoy because I can do these SKU systems. I can have things organized in the way that I want, and not just have a bunch of cards in alphabetical order. And then if I have like 10,000 cards from one set, I have to look through 10,000 cards, like that section of 10,000 cards to find what I'm looking for, and it's very time consuming. And it's gotten to the point where I have to like really slow down on that one. And then I think that answers that question. And then I guess like when I finish doing the orders, that's it. I kind of just go to sleep after that. I don't really stay up much longer after I do all my orders. Let's see the next question. So the next question is, are you strict with your margins? And then example, whether you overpaid or not, you set your pricing to always get 30%. Yes, I'm strict with the minimum of my margin. So like, let's say I bought a card and it was worth $100. I paid 70. I'm listing it for 130, like no questions asked. But let's say I paid $100 and then I was slow to list it and it ended up going down in price to be like $80. I would list it still at 130. Now, this takes some more like mental work because you have to remember how much you paid for it and kind of reference that. So I kind of just try to list things as quick as possible. Like since I list things weekly, it's hard to like that situation doesn't happen that much. But if you're someone that lists things every month or you're just like very slow to list stuff, then that can definitely be an issue for you. But still, don't like actually a lot of people have asked me that too. Um they said something like if you list the card and then let's say you listed it at 130, but then a week later it's worth 100 or like it dropped in price, whatever. Do you lower your price or do you just keep it as is and move on? And personally, I keep my prices the same unless the price has gone up. Like I'm not going to go in and spend all this time um, trying to lower my prices because then it's like I'm putting in more work just to make less money. So I can't see the justification with that. And sure, you might make the sale quicker if you have the lowest listing, but that is not something I personally try to do. Like I don't care to make the sale from being the lowest listing. I'd rather make the sale because people want to buy from my store. And ever since I've changed to that mindset, things have gotten a lot better and I've made a lot more sales doing that as opposed to like trying to fight for every sale and trying to lowball myself just to do that. Because I think I made a video about this last week and it's like kind of separating yourself from your inventory and um, not being desperate for sales will definitely help you because then you can't be you can't let it can't be used against you realistically. Like even when I was vending last weekend, People would make their offer to me, and if I'm good with that price, sure, I'll accept it. But like, I'm not desperate for the sale, so I'm not going to be like, if they offer me 30% below what I'm asking, I'll say yes to that. And that does happen a lot. Like, when you're talking with people, whether you're buying or selling, you will notice a lot of people will they'll try to negotiate you and see how strong you are on your price. If you show that you're strong with your stuff, then they will either cave, or they'll like ask you again or something. But if you're weak on your price, you're not going to go far with that, because people will notice that and they will take advantage of it. And it's happened to me a lot. It still happens all the time. Like, people will be like I'll make someone an offer. I'll say, I'll do 375 for that. They go, can you do 380? I'm like, no, I offered you 375 for a reason. I'm sticking with that number. And then they go, okay, that's fine. I'll do 375. But if they go, can you do 380? And you go, yeah, sure, I can do 380. Then you just caved, and then you signal to them that, like, okay, you will cave for like most things. And then that gets even worse when you get to the what's it called? Like, if they really take advantage of it and then they see that you caved on that initial offer, now they'll come up to you and be like, oh, can you cover the shipping? And then they'll say, can you cover the goods and service fee? And it keeps piling up. So that's why you got to be strong with what you do. And this comes for anything, whether you're selling stuff on eBay or buying stuff anywhere. Just make sure you stay strong with your pricing and your offer. Now, if you want to make a quick sale and it's more worth it to you to just lower your price and sell it, so that way you can recoup some money, sure, do that. But if you're thinking of it like as a long-term business perspective and you don't need the money at the moment, then definitely don't worry about it and don't lower your prices, because it's not worth it, in my opinion. So that was the first batch. Let me just get it organized so I could set those cards aside, and then I will be answering the next question. So, as you can see right there, I think it took me, like, I'm a little bit distracted, to be honest, because I'm answering questions, but that was pretty quick, right? Like, I had to edit a few cards, but not the whole thing. So that was 156 right there. So now let me just lock in really quick, make the next batch. I think it cut off at, what was it, Graplock V? It was like 314, 313, 14. Okay. So the next one is going to be another 155. Dang, I don't even remember. Okay, so 350. No, 315. That would need to be like 470, I think. Screw it. Let's just do 476. That's 162. Okay, submit batch. The next question. Actually, I think there's more to be talked about with that concept. So, what I was saying was, like, I will not change my price to be lower, but the second part of it is I will change my price to be higher. Like, one of the videos I made was how you can look at your store on eBay and see which listings are being looked at a lot or being added to the cart a lot. And that gives you some big insight on like how popular a card is, and most likely a card is going up in price if that happens. And the other thing is, when someone is messaging you about a card, or they are sending you an offer about the card, and that is a big indicator on, like, okay, this card might be going up in price. Let me see if it is, like, check TCGplayer, whatever, and then adjust your price from there. Because a lot of times when people send offers, honestly, like, very, I guess, low IQ decision on their part when they send you an offer for a card that you already have the lowest price on. Like there have been, it happened actually yesterday to me. I had this Gardevoir EX from Steam Siege, I think, like the gold rare one. And this guy, he goes, "Can you do?" I forget what the price was, but let's just say he goes like, "Can you do 120?" And I'm like, "Okay, let me check why he's offering 120." So I go on TCGplayer, and then I see the lowest near mint listing is like 180. So then I go in and I increase my price. I don't even respond to their message because like your loss, you know. That's kind of my mindset for that. But it doesn't make sense why they try to, I guess, be greedy and like try to get a better deal when they could just buy it outright and already make a profit on what they're offering on, you know? The other time, oh no, this image is upside down. I forgot to edit it. That's fine. I'll do it in eBay. Um, Other times is when like I notice like one card recently that's going up is the Lugia V alternate art, and I went in and I increased my price for that one because why not? Just by a click of a button, I could potentially make $50 more. Is my mindset with that. But if I'm going in and I'm lowering prices, then I'm putting in effort and work and time to make less money, but possibly make a sale. You know, so that's kind of how I see that and how I view that. And yeah, that's I think that's enough for that question. Let's see what the next one is. So the next question is: do you ever feel burned out? Um, Honestly, I was talking with my fiance the other day about this, and I don't think I've had one experience where I was burnt out. It was like a year or two ago, and it was because I was like hanging out with friends and we were drinking whatever. I rarely do that, and this reason is actually why I don't do it. Um, and like I got home the next day, and I was like, I feel horrible. Like I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. So I just like that day I felt burnt out, so to speak. But besides that, I really don't ever feel burned out because I don't take breaks in a way. Like I'm not wasting time, and because once you start getting into that habit of like, oh, I'll just take a break really quick. I'll just watch TV or be on my phone for the next hour or two. When you do that, then you are like you're not going to want to go back to that uncomfortable time where you have to work. Like because obviously, actually not for me, but like it makes sense that like doing nothing and being on your phone is easier than working. But if you don't do that and like you don't constantly distract yourself or do things that would, oh wait, one sec, then you won't feel that, I guess, because every time I don't even know, I don't know how to explain that, to be honest. I don't think a lot of people would understand what I'm trying to say because like I've never really thought about it. I guess I just don't think about it, so it doesn't impact me, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't feel burned out. Only happened once in my life, and ever since then, it never happened. So I'm pretty glad for that because it definitely could suck if you start growing something and you get like you want to stop. Wait, I only did 80 cards in this batch. Oh my goodness. I thought it was oops. Okay. Um what else? That was upside down again. Dang. Okay. Another thing with like when it comes to being burned out is I am fortunate that I had almost like instant success with what I did. Like when I started selling on eBay and TCGplayer and Facebook, I was making sales relatively quickly into me starting. And for me, that helps a lot. Like if you start something and you're immediately failing, it definitely hurts. Like it sucks. Like you don't want to keep going. But if you start something and it's doing well, then like at least for me, it makes me want to keep going and I don't get that fatigue or get drained or anything. So that's definitely helped. Same with the YouTube. Like if I was making videos and then nobody was watching them, or sorry, quick water break. If I was making videos and nobody was watching them, then I would be like burnt out, I guess, figuratively, because I wouldn't want to keep making them if there was just no success with it. But since people watch the videos and they enjoy them and they find help or they find them helpful, then it just makes me want to keep going. So I think that's just something to focus on is like, is it successful? Like, are you being successful with it? If so, keep going. If not, then you might want to just backtrack, think of something else that you could do because I don't know. For me, I've started a few things and they did not go well. Hold on, let me find the right card. And I do these all by store category, so it's very important that I pick the right one. Okay, this is going to be a bigger batch, 228, I think. Oh my goodness. Okay, but yeah, I started a few things. Like I've built other apps before, and they all failed. Besides TCG Spike and TCG Automate, one of them I tried to build like a PSA graded card marketplace, and I built up like literally everything up until the Stripe integration. And then I tried to reach out to PSA for approval to make like to launch it, and then they did not approve it. And I spent like a year and a half building that, which sucked because I truly think it would have been like a really cool thing. Especially at the time, there wasn't a lot of information on PSA graded cards. So I built that and then it failed. But like after it failed, I guess I felt pretty bad about it. Like obviously I wish it would have succeeded. And I might have taken a little break before I started another app, but it's like what am I going to do? Just not work or not be productive? That's my mindset with it all. Because you could be burnt out, sure, but then it's like, are you going to stay burnt out? What are you going to do when you're not feeling burnt out? Are you just going to resort back to like what you've been doing and not being productive, or are you going to get back in the rhythm and start being productive? Because I think that's very important and definitely something that people don't really consider. Um, yeah, maybe I should make a freaking mindset video. I don't know. We talk about my mindset for everything. But yeah, let's get on to the next one. What are the biggest factors to more sales on eBay? You have touched on it various videos, but I would be interested in going more deeply into what you have noticed increased sales. Okay, there's a long question. So title, pictures, feedback, seller ratings, top rated, free shipping, free returns, a lot of different factors on eBay. So it would be interesting to hear how you rate each in order of importance. Okay. So they're asking, like, what are the biggest factors? There's all these little details that go into it. Which one actually has the most impact? Now, I am a very quantity over quality type seller. Like, I think like, I don't know what the exact saying is, but it's something with like an 80-20 rule. And if you can get 80% of the way in 20% of the time, and then spend that last 20%, but take like 80% of the time, if that makes sense. Like it takes you longer to get those last details than it does to get all the major details in the beginning, like with like a shotgun approach, I guess. Something like that. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but like if you could do the majority of things quickly, then that's more important than trying to make everything perfect in a short, like in a longer period of time. Because one big thing that people get stuck up on a lot is like, oh, I need the perfect description, I need the perfect title and the perfect item specifics. I'm like, sure, they should be good, they should be good quality, but they don't need to be perfect. And a lot of people spend way too much time trying to make things perfect that it actually hurts their store because they're not growing it. They're just fine tuning what they already have rather than building onto like the foundation and building more listings and growing their store. Um, but in order to, or like, let me directly answer this part. They were asking the 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 like details that they're talking about are title, pictures, feedback, seller rating is the same thing. Top rated, free shipping, free returns, etc. Okay, title is important, but it's also not that important. Like all titles are going to be the same thing. They're going to have the same information, the same details, whatever. As long as you have all of that information in there, sure, you could make it like a neat, like have all of your titles be the same format and same order of like how you say things. Like, do you say the card name first? Do you say the Pokemon first, etc. But what's more important is just having the things. Or actually, that's what I just said. Just having the details in there is the most important part. Fine tuning it to be like a perfect title and like perfectly formatted is whatever. It's not going to bring in more sales if you have a cooler looking title, but it will bring in more attention if you have a properly detailed title. Like you have all the details there. So that's my opinion on that part. Pictures, I would say, well, okay, this is weird because it's like your stuff could be perfect, but if nobody's seeing it, who cares, you know? So that makes me say that like your feedback and your sales history and like all that stuff, that is the most important part. And then after that, it's your pictures, I think, is very important. I'm gonna make a hot take and I'm gonna say pricing is not that important because you can have the best priced listing with terrible pictures and two feedback, but people are going to be scared to buy from you because you haven't proven yourself. You know, like would you rather buy from someone for an extra dollar if they have 1,000 feedback as opposed to like two feedback? Yes, you will, or like most likely you will, unless you are someone that's more interested in just finding the cheapest price. And if you are that person, like that's fine. I am similar like that sometimes, but as a seller, you want to find the people that will prefer like feedback and sales history and all that stuff over just pricing because anyone can compete on pricing. Not many people can compete on quality and good customer service and good shipping and all that. So the right one did I choose? Yes. Okay. So yeah, I think that's the most important part. Just having that sales history and all that. And then the next important part is your quality of your images. Market price is $8 on this card? No, $1. Okay. Um, Get you. Okay. Yeah, your pictures, if you can get high quality pictures, I think that helps a ton as opposed to just using a phone. Like, like it sucks because like a scanner is a few $100s depending on where you get it, and if you get a renewed one or a brand new one, I definitely recommend getting a renewed version because there's no point in paying for like what was I going to say? There's no point in paying for a brand new one because they all do the same work. They all work the same. So just do yourself a favor and buy one that's renewed, but buy from like Amazon or eBay. Don't buy from some random person because you don't know how good the quality is going to be. So you want to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck. So that's my take on that. And if you can use a scanner for your images, it's just going to make things a whole lot better. Your processes will be a lot quicker, and you'll be able to scale your store much better. Because like even okay with this tool, the people that there are people that reach out and say like, okay, the AI is not that accurate, but you guys are seeing it here firsthand, and like it is pretty accurate when you use scanned photos. Now the ones that are saying it's not accurate are using they're using images from their phone, like pictures, and that's fine, but it's just not going to be accurate because there's so much background going on that it's hard for the AI to recognize them. And I mean that could be the same thing for like a human, a human. That could be the same thing for like a person looking on eBay. They're gonna they're gonna see an image like this, and they're gonna think that's a lot better quality than an image that's like technically they'll see it like this small on their screen if they're viewing it on like a regular picture. So just having good images, ideally from a scanner, I think will go a long way. And if you're serious about growing your store, it's definitely going to be worth it. And then next up is item specifics. I don't think these are actually that important. Like like this tool pre-fills it all for you, which is good, but it's not important to the extent where I would say go into all your listings and then update them. Because item specifics, I think don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure they only like they can help if someone's searching for something and let's say your title for this card said Weevil, Chilling Rain, but it didn't show the number. But then your item specific had the number. For those instances, it could help. Like if you're missing info, your item specific could bail you out. But for the majority of instances, it's not really necessary. And like especially some of the minuscule ones like manufacturer, HP, I think Illustrator is a good one. People, I did not know that. People in the Discord told me about that. That it's like people actually search for the Illustrator. Um, but like just some weird ones, just like random item specifics that don't really matter, and I don't think you should be worried about them. So like ignore those to be honest, unless you really care. But you do you. But I'm not gonna advise anyone else doing that because it just doesn't make sense logically. You can make a lot more sales by listing more cards rather than fine tuning your existing listings or just like trying to make them better by filling out those random item specifics. And then what else was there? Top rated. I think that's important. Free shipping and free returns. So you have to do free shipping and free returns if you are top rated. So it kind of works hand in hand. And I think it is important, but it's also kind of like uh, no, I think being top rated definitely helps. But also offering free returns helps a lot too, because one thing I mentioned in that video yesterday is like it removes friction from someone trying to buy from you. Like if someone's going to buy from you and then says no returns, or you have to pay for the return shipping, they are going to be more hesitant to buy from you compared to if I uploaded a lot of these cards. Compared to if it says free returns, free shipping, like whatever. Because then they're more comfortable and they're going to be willing to buy from you with like less stress from it. I think that's important, and it's also like if they want to return the card, they're gonna find a way to do it, and that's whether you like that concept or not. But you trying to be like a stickler and you know saying, "Oh, no returns allowed," you should have looked at the picture more, whatever. Like not everyone is gonna enjoy that, and they're gonna leave you negative reviews for sure if that's the case. So you're basically risking negative review, a flag on your account because they're going to open a dispute, and what else? Yeah, negative review and a flag on your account because you don't want to cover a return label. Like it shows lack of effort from the seller, and it also shows that you're not like serious about this and you're not handling it as a business, but rather as a like a you know a regular person that's not really interested in making things right. And that will separate you a lot from the rest, which will lead to a lot more sales. So definitely do free returns and free shipping, which will lead to you being a top rated seller since it's a requirement. So let's go on to the next one. Um, you have separate money pools for bulk and collections. For instance, you have a budget of $1,000 for bulk, 2,000 for singles. Do you kind of track how much bulk you sell and put it back into that pool? And same for singles and collections. So, short answer, I do not do that. I keep all my money in the same bank and I treat it all as like the same thing. I don't really treat inventory differently in terms of like what I could spend it on. Um, if I notice that like some of my bulk is going low, I will look and make a post on eBay or not eBay. I'll make a post on Facebook for that bulk, like looking for it, and then I'll start buying again. But I don't I don't really treat it differently in terms of like how much I could spend on it. And I think that kind of leads me to like one big issue that I've noticed with a lot of new sellers is they kind of what is it called? No, not everything was uploaded. Hold up, let's do some fixing. Success. Oh, it thinks it's multiple cards. Actually, that happens a lot with the trick or trade cards because it's like a. I think the set name says bundle in it. Okay, I'll edit that later. Um, Now we're on PO26. Now we're doing Scarlet Violet cards. Where is it? Let me just get these uploaded and then I'll finish answering that question. I wish there was a tracker to see how much cards you had selected. Actually, yeah, there is. Oh, no, there's not. Dang it. Okay, let's see. So I want to do 185, which would be around 11:30. No, let's just go up to like right here, 1400. Oof, 234. Okay, screw it. Yeah, a lot of new sellers I've noticed they want to like keep track of everything to a T, and truthfully, I don't understand why. Like, there's no gain to it. And comment down below if you do it and you actually think there is a gain or like a benefit to it. But personally, I don't see the point of writing down which cards you bought specifically. Like, if I bought this card, I'll write down Merc Row and I paid $6 for it. Like, I don't see the importance of doing something like that. And then you scale that to like 100,000 cards, you're writing down all this stuff. You're just slowing yourself down, and you're not really, it's not benefiting anything besides maybe like, oh, it's cool to look at. Because, yeah, sure, having all these spreadsheets, it can be cool to look at sometimes. Like, I have one for my monthly expenses, which is needed for tax reasons. So, like, that is important. But writing down how much you paid for a card, so then when you sell it, you can directly reference that specific card. To me, it just doesn't make sense. And I think it's going to be holding people back a lot. And in terms of like money pools and stuff, I don't keep track of that either. But I guess maybe that's me being out of touch because like I don't have to worry about extra capital anymore. In full transparency, like I fluctuate around 20,000 in liquid cash before I start. Actually, no, that's just how much I fluctuate between, and I don't have to worry about, yo, if I buy this collection, I won't have enough to buy another one. Now, that used to be the problem. Like, I used to have issues where I would buy bulk from people, and I would literally, like, this is very bad, but I would be like, I am very sorry. I have to wait a few days because, like, I haven't been paid by eBay yet, and I don't have the cash to send to you, like, on a friends and family payment. So, that definitely happened. Like, I understand where these questions are coming from, but I guess I don't know. You don't really need to keep track of it to that minuscule of a detail if you want to grow your store. Like, it's not going to make a difference if you stop. And I used to do that. I used to track every single card I bought during like my first year. But then as soon as I stopped doing that, my sales started. Not even my sales. I was able to list more because I didn't have to write down every single card I bought, which meant I could use that time to just list more cards and keep track of my expenses on a like a monthly scale and a collection basis rather than on a specific card basis. Yeah, hopefully that answered that question. There's two more. One sec. Okay. Next one is, how do you decide to sell something on eBay or TCGplayer? Honestly, I'm probably not even the best person to ask this question because um, I've slowed down selling on TCGplayer. But lately, what I've been doing is anything competitive. So like trainer cards that are used in competitive decks, EX cards that are popular in competitive decks, like the Pheasantipity. Trainer card would be the Night Stretcher. Stuff like that is what I list on TCGplayer because on there, there's going to be more of an audience buying those staple cards, and maybe there are those types of buyers on eBay, but I've never tested it out, and I don't really care to because when it comes to like competitive cards, you kind of need to sell them quickly, from what I've noticed, because it could get out of the meta really quickly and then not sell at all, or like the price could tank a ton. And you don't want that to happen, so you want to list it as quickly as possible. And the way to do that is to just list it on TCGplayer. Especially if you have a ton of copies of a card, you will get a ton of sales like that, which is honestly like that's my favorite part about the app or like the marketplace. Besides that, I don't really care for it. I don't like listing on there because it's such a race to the bottom, but it does have its benefits, I will admit, when it comes to selling things quickly. Last question. What does inventory management look like at your scale? I have a video about this, honestly, like show my whole inventory system, and I have one coming out tomorrow of like what I've been doing lately, which is the chaos sort method. And um, basically, for the variation listings, I have them organized by. Oh, sorry. Okay, I have them alphabetized and then organized by set or like type or like variation listing, and that helps a ton because I don't have to like go through all of my inventory to just find one card. Like I know exactly where the cards are. Now, what I've been doing lately is the chaos sort method, and I used to do it before when I was using this other listing tool because that's the setting that I had for it, and it's a super helpful tool to be honest because if I list 1,000 cards and I do like 10 batches, like what I'm doing right now, I can easily find exactly what card I'm looking for because when the order comes in on eBay, the SKU system is it just shows me exactly where the card is. It'll say PO 25 and then the number would be like 6. So I'll know it's the sixth card from that batch. And it definitely helps a lot. And the other great thing is like when you list more cards, you don't have to go in and then move around your already listed stuff. You can just add it to the back and just keep going from there. Also, these illustration errors are freaking perfect right now. Like it's catching everything, which is really cool. Wow. I don't know. I'm very proud of this app, which is why I make so much videos talking about it. But hopefully, it's not annoying. Like I know it can be annoying if you see someone making like a bunch of ad videos, but I don't know. I feel like this is a very helpful thing that would deeply or like greatly benefit a lot of people. So it's kind of why I like making these videos about it. Um, and I worked really hard on it, so I just want to show it to the world, you know. Um, but yeah, I started doing the chaos sort system. I don't know why it's called chaos sort, more like organized sort, if you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, I started doing that, and that's kind of it. Like it's hard to explain that in words. You know, you kind of need to see it in real life, which is what the video for tomorrow will be. So sorry, I can't answer that one. Um, Another thing, I'm kind of I don't know. It's hard to like multitask. I feel like I could list these a lot quicker if I wasn't doing the video, but it's okay because like multitask, I could be double productive. You know. Um, those are all the questions, but I'm going to talk about a few things while I finish this batch, and then I'll probably end the video here. What was I going to say? I'm thinking about building a. Is it the Pokemon Center one? No. Okay. I'm thinking about making a Facebook group because, like, I made this Discord for this app, and the community in there is amazing. Like, you guys are all, everyone's helping each other, talking about like sales they've made and pickups they've got, and just like tips on things, which is it's amazing because like when you join all these other groups, you'll notice, especially on Facebook, people are very rude. Like it's insane, and I think it's just because like the crowd on Facebook is just bad. Like I don't know. It's like some like I have very strong words I could use, but I don't want to use because I don't know if that's appropriate. But I don't know. It's just the people on there can definitely be very annoying, and it's scary as someone that's a first time seller to have to go through, or like a first like when they're starting off to have to go through. But I'm hoping that like if I can make a group and it's positive, like the Discord group is, then maybe it would be a good place to buy and sell stuff, and it could help out a lot of people. So comment down below if you're even still watching at this point. It's freaking an hour in. Um, yeah, like let me know if you'd be interested in that, and I might start one just to see how it goes. Um, wow, these are all perfect. Also, another thing is like people recommend things, and I can't even take full credit for all the features on this. Like what? Fioni once? No, okay. Um, like Card Throne. I don't know if you guys know him, but Card Throne recommended like if you hover over this, see a bigger image of it here, so that I could quickly reference that card number and then search it in. It's like things like that. It's like they recommend all this stuff, and then I build it out, and it just helps everyone. So it's like a growing community, which is really cool. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm very happy with like how everything is turning out. All the positivity in there, and the people helping each other. It's really cool to see, especially when you see all these like negative stuff and rude people online and all these bad stories. It's like refreshing to see good stuff happening. So definitely let me know because I would like to make one and see how that goes. Uh, almost done here. I got 227. Wow, this batch went surprisingly well. I've never done illustration errors like this in bulk, but it caught almost like 95% of them, I think. So I save. Batch 3. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully you guys found this one helpful. Definitely a longer form video. I know you guys have been asking for that a lot. So let me know your thoughts below. If you think I said anything that was wrong or you disagree with it, comment that down below as well. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a great week. Bye.